Like right now.
What up?
What up?
I got nothing. You waited too long and I got nothing. Something about a Dovio.
Hi, and welcome to the Brothers Game
La
Podcast.
la 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 karamari damasi la.
I'm
la,
Brian,
la, la, la,
and that's
la,
Nicolai
la.
over there.
I'm the prince.
Okay,
I just played Katamari before I came here, so
I see.
that music is a banger. Yeah, I'm Nicolai. I guess this is the podcast.
I guess.
I guess. Brian, what the heck is up?
Not a lot.
Yeah, have you been doing anything?
No,
Am
I don't
gonna
do things anymore.
I'm going to be doing all the heavy lifting in this
yeah,
episode.
I don't
think.
do things. I just kind of sit around and I wait for us to
But
record again.
You had so many interesting things happen in between,
Yeah.
and you regaled us on so many tales last episode.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess I'll talk a little bit. What's been going on? No, me either. Nothing. So,
Well, anyway,
I guess
follow us on Twitter
that's
and
it. Yeah, did you follow us on Twitter? I don't think so. Go do it now. How about that? I'm going to tell you at the beginning of the episode. Go follow our Twitter at the Brothers G Pods. How about that? It's really cold outside.
Yep. Well, it wasn't that bad today.
No, it got cold though.
Oh, okay.
It might snow tonight.
Yeah, supposedly it's going to be really cold today.
It's like 34 already
but,
tonight.
You
So anyway, this is not a podcast about weather. This is about
Weather reports.
Vidigum,
The podcast.
Vidigums.
Also the stand.
How about that Super Bowl last night, huh?
Yeah, I totally watched that.
Someone won, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a Nintendo Direct
Yes.
that happened.
That's the meat.
That's
You know,
what
we
I really
usually
wanna
wait
talk
until
about.
like halfway through to talk about the Nintendo news, but let's just jump into it.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
This is what happened. Nothing exciting. Just kidding. No new Mario game,
Okay.
which was a little surprising. I think they're focusing completely on the movie right now,
Oh yeah.
and no, not even a teaser for a Mario thing it's been a while. I just think that's a little interesting. But anyway, what have you heard?
I think I saw your tweet about Game Boy and Game Boy Advance
Okay.
games on the eShop.
That may have happened. That might be possible. I was going to mention the first thing, which was the first thing they showed, was Pikmin 4. Now, which had been teased last time. But they actually gave a full trailer this time. There's a very cute dog in it now. There is new Ice Pikmin. And I think it's coming out in May or July or something. Anyway, like middle of this year, which is cool. I know you haven't played a Pikmin game, have you?
Nope, I have never played a Pikmin game.
I'm like almost a really big Pikmin fan. I love the first two, but I'm like a fake fan because I haven't played the third one, even though I have it. I own it for the Switch and just have not touched it. But I'll probably get 4. We'll see. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just like I'm a fake Final Fantasy fan for only having finished
100%.
12 and 7.
Yeah. Hundo P. Yes, obviously the most exciting thing for me is that they did add Game Boy and Game Boy Advance to the like online pass thing. Now, Game Boy is on the regular online, along with like NES and Super Nintendo.
Okay.
But Game Boy Advance is only on the expansion pass, which is the more expensive version.
Okay.
Where like the N64 games are. So if you want the whole thing, you gotta do that too. I have here the list of all the games that they added. So for the original Game Boy, we have Wario Land 3,
Okay.
which is actually a really fun game. That's really cool. Tetris, of course.
All 3 of the first Wario Land games were on the original Game Boy?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. And Wario Land 1 is also Super Mario Land 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Super Mario Land 3 is Wario Land. is like the subtitle is Wario Land.
Oh.
And then they did Wario Land 2 and 3.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. I did not know any of that.
I learned that when I was like first getting into like backlog of Game Boy games. I was like, oh, that's how that works. Yeah.
I weirdly don't know a ton about original Game Boy.
Because it's funny, we had we played the Game Boy a ton, but basically only Gen 1 Pokemon.
It's like, other than that, all I had was Kirby's Pinball Land and Yoshi's Cookie.
I know we had Super Mario Bros. Deluxe.
Yeah,
too,
for Game Boy Color.
Which is Game Boy Color, yeah. And I think Wario Land 3 is Game Boy Color.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I think 1 and 2 are the only ones that are pure Game Boy.
Yeah.
So this also has Game Boy Color games, I should mention.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So speaking of, there is also Mario Land 2, Super Mario Land 2, the Lost Red Coins or something, I think is the subtitle.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's actually a really good Mario platformer, in my opinion. Tetris, as I mentioned, the classic. Metroid 2, Return of Samus.
Okay.
Which was recently remade on the 3DS, which is quite popular. I haven't played that. I might try that out. Yeah.
Isn't there a remaster of Metroid Prime coming out soon? Okay, yeah.
Soon, Brian. It came out. The day of the Direct.
Nice.
That's coming later. Don't mention it.
Sorry, I forgot.
I know it's very exciting.
I heard some VTuber talk about it.
It's insanely exciting, actually. So also Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, of course. We have Kirby's Dream Land, the very first Kirby game. Which, did you know that Kirby's Dream Land, there is no copy abilities?
Oh, interesting.
It's the first Kirby game, and Kirby can only jump and fly and suck up enemies. They do not do anything for Kirby.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Kirby's Adventure on the NES that they added that, which I looked into because I was like, that's weird. Okay.
It is interesting to me how many games had multiple titles on the same console. Like, not just multiple titles, but like in a series, like Wario Land 1, 2, and 3 being on Game Boy. Which, I mean, I guess that still happens because like Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 were all on Xbox 360.
Yeah,
but it's still often surprising to me when that happens, because of how often it's like the first game is on one console, the second game is on the next console, third game's on the next console.
Exactly. Paper Mario, for instance.
Yeah, that's I feel like that's way more common than having multiple installments on the same console.
Yeah.
Or at least more than two.
I don't know if they just came out with games faster back then.
Yeah.
Or if hardware was around longer.
Yeah. But I guess it is pretty series dependent. Look, because like Halo 1 and 2 were on the original Xbox, but Halo 3 didn't come out until the Xbox 360. But then you've got the Mass Effect trilogy is all on Xbox 360. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other games like that.
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 were both on PS2.
Yeah.
That spans a lot of consoles, though, that series.
Well, and also PS2 is kind of an outlier amongst other consoles because it
had so many games
around for so long and had games made for it for so long.
Yeah.
I'm almost surprised the PS2 doesn't have more instances of that than other consoles. Like, it was around long enough for there to be like 4 installments of a game series
100%.
Just on the PS2.
Yeah. I'm thinking of Zelda also. There's not a lot of mainline games on one system. Yeah. Most systems only have one big game. I guess no. Older ones, though. Zelda 1 and 2 is on the NES. Super Nintendo only had Link to the Past. But 64 had Ocarina and Majora's Mask.
Right. Yeah. So it seems like
it's one or two.
It's pretty common for 2.
Yeah.
It's not very common for there to be 3 installments on the same console.
Yeah. For like a real mainline game like that. Yeah. Anyway,
back to the news.
I'm almost done with Game Boy games.
Yeah.
Gargoyle's Quest. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not. I did watch the show Gargoyles.
Yeah, this is not the show Gargoyles.
Oh, okay.
This is it's an enemy, I think, or like a character from Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Which you've heard of, which is like the King Arthur super difficult platformer game.
Yeah, I know Ghouls and Ghosts,
Yeah.
but
So
okay.
this is like an offshoot where you play as like a gargoyle, and from everything I've seen of it, it looks super good, like a really cool platformer.
Interesting.
So I'm actually gonna try it, and I'll get back to you because I have not played it yet. But yeah, I actually really want to check that out. There's a Game and Watch gallery as well, which has Game and Watch Gallery 3 in particular.
Yeah.
And it's just a few Game and Watch games, which is cool.
Game and Watch, the thing I knew nothing about until Smash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you either had to be really old or play Smash Bros. To hear of Game and Watch.
Yeah.
And the last one is Alone in the Dark, which is sort of a mystery detective game, which looks weirdly impressive for the system. So I'm kind of curious about it actually, because it looks like graphically and stuff pretty impressive for original Game Boy.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, that's the cool Game Boy stuff. No Pokemon. No Pokemon. GBA is much quicker. There's only 6 games that are out so far. Thank God WarioWare Inc. is on there. Mega Micro Games. Literally one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah. It's funny. So I bought a Game Boy Advance pretty much when it first came out. As soon as I could get one.
Was yours purple? Or was it
pink, fuchsia.
Pink, that's right.
Yeah. Because as usual, I got whatever was available, and it was often whatever my least favorite color was at the time.
But you wanted it enough that that's funny.
And so this was when I wasn't really playing Pokemon anymore, and I just was so disappointed at the game lineup of the game library for the Advance.
The Advance, yeah.
Like it didn't seem like there were any good games.
It's so funny because now I think there's a massive library of GBA games that I love.
I feel like it took a long time for the GBA to
I'm actually
build up a really big game library.
I don't know what launch titles were for that game. I kind of want to look into that now.
Yeah.
What was like around the first 6 months of launch or whatever?
Mario Kart Super Circuit?
Super Circuit, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Speaking of, that is on the GBA thing. That's on my list.
Oh, okay.
Here. So
yeah,
Super
keep going with the list. Yeah.
So Super Circuit, which you can play online with your friends, which is kind of cool.
Oh, interesting.
That's cool to do that in an old game. I think is really cool.
A game that old. Yeah.
Yeah. Mario 3, which was Super Mario Advance 4, I think.
Okay.
Because you know how Super Mario Advance 1 was Super Mario Bros. 2, and Advance 2 was Super Mario World. Advance 3 was Yoshi's Island, and Advance 4 was Mario 3, Super Mario Bros. 3.
Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
I know. Very confusing.
That's kind of like the Final Fantasy Japanese titles versus American titles.
It's like Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days, which I have Advance 2 and 3, the Mario World and Yoshi's Island. So.
Well, I had Yoshi's Island.
You had Yoshi's Island. I remember distinctly.
That was my best. That was the best game I had for the Advance.
Because just soundtrack alone is one of the best parts of it.
I went through and beat the game again.
Yep.
When I got it on the Advance.
It's one of those platformers that you could consistently beat, which is very exciting.
I have only beaten it twice. It's hard.
Yeah, but I mean, twice is more than once and more than 0. So I mean, as far as you and platformers go,
that's probably my proudest accomplishment as a young child,
as a kid,
in a video game.
Oh, totally, yeah, I totally
beating
get
that game.
Yeah. Let's see, what did I do? WarioWare. I'm already playing that a ton, by the way. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Yep.
Which is the RPG for that. Actually, a very good game as well. This one's really cool. Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Which is awesome that it's on there because that game is like $200 like in cartridge. So, and it's actually a very good 2D Zelda. I'm not even a huge 2D Zelda fan, as I've said, but that one is quite good. And the last game is Kudu Kudu Kudurin, which which is kind of cool. It's a game that never came out in America. This is the first time it's in America, and it is you play as a stick,
Okay.
that spins, and it spins really slowly and consistently, and you have to move around through obstacles while it's spinning.
Okay.
So it's like a kind of weird puzzle game almost. It looks very weird and interesting, and kind of an odd choice for this, I think, for the launch titles. But hey, there you go. So again, no Pokemon. Now, I will just go straight into the speculation.
Okay.
So, Pokemon Day is February 27th. Is just about 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
And they always make game announcement of some sort. They'll maybe talk about Scarlet and Violet DLC or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
And with this just coming out and not having any Pokemon games, a lot of people are thinking they'll drop some, especially seeing how there isn't a huge library on these two right now. So we could be seeing at least Gen 1 possibly dropping on this, or at least getting a release date for those. So that's the current speculation, because it is confirmed that Pokemon Stadium is coming to the N64 online program thing.
Yeah.
So Pokemon Stadium isn't nearly as good if you can't transfer Pokemon to them. So people are hoping that you can like transfer between the games somehow or something like that. So we'll see. It almost sounds too good to be true a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. Be pretty cool. Because having GBA, they could even have Gen 3 on there. So like having Emerald on there, I think would be pretty sweet. So yeah, we'll see. So anyway, that's that.
A lot.
Yes, you are. Yes, my talking bores you. I know. You're like, stop talking about Pokemon. You're just like the audience. So, moving on, we have the Metroid Prime remaster, as you mentioned. This did drop. They call it Shadow Drop, which is when they announce it for the first time, and also it's releasing today.
Yeah.
So it came out right after the Direct, and was download only. I think it's coming out physically either end of this month or next month. It is $40.
Okay.
So it's not cheap, but the reviews for this are higher than the original game. And like I think the Metacritic user score is like 96 or something.
Wow.
It's absolutely absurd. It is apparently, I have not played it yet, it's apparently one of the best remasters of all time. Like it's just like smooth, beautiful. It has like 3 different control schemes, I think you can play with, because it was originally GameCube, and then it re-released on the Wii with motion controls. And then with this, they added Halo controls basically for the first time, where you have the 2 sticks, you can move and aim with the other stick, just like a Halo game or whatever, which is awesome. Like, thank God, because we're all used to that now. So, but you can also play the original way or the motion control way, which is really cool, actually.
Interesting. So, like, I don't actually intend to buy it, but if I had it,
yes,
I think I would try it with the Halo controls, because I never really played it more than a few minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm not used to the original control scheme anyway, and Halo's controls are ones I'm familiar with.
Yeah. So I replayed it not that long ago. I think I mentioned it on this podcast many episodes ago, on the Wii Virtual Console version. So on my Wii U. So that had motion controls, and that worked decently well. But yeah, I think the Halo type controls would be even better. So I will definitely be getting this soon. So I will definitely try it out and get back to you. But I'm glad they dropped a remaster like that, and that it was just well received in every way, basically. Like, no one even complained about the $40 price tag. I don't think I haven't seen a single person even mad about that. So
yeah,
because it's a little much for just a remaster of not a very long game. But yeah. Anyway, speaking of Katamari, like I mentioned the first beginning of the episode, they're releasing We Love Katamari. which is the PS2 game that was a sequel to Katamari Damacy. So they're doing a re-rolled version of that too, like they did with the first one. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. I'm a Katamari guy, so that's cool. And then, of course, the last announcement was a new trailer for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Which you've heard of, I'm guessing.
Yes.
The
long-awaited Breath of the Wild sequel.
Yes, it is definitely a Breath of the Wild sequel. You definitely saw a lot of similar memorable landmarks and stuff. There's definitely some new enemies shown. There's a really ugly car that Link was driving, which I don't know, man. It looks like something you build yourself or something because it looked so weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, and there's also like a little flying machine he had with it's like a little drone, but you ride it sort of thing with like propellers and stuff. So that was cool. Ganon has a big scary voice, and I don't think it's Ganon personally. I think the villain's like Demise or something, someone different. And then right at the end, it's like Link's giving his power to someone, or like they're speculating you can play as Zelda because of the way he grabbed her. I don't know. Who knows, right? It's all speculation, basically. We don't know that much more about it. What we do know is that it's $70. Do you remember me saying that on this podcast? That I said, even if it was $70, I would buy it. Well, I'm going to have to. Because it's $70. Which, whoa, crazy. Obviously, we know that that's not shocking.
Right.
In general, in this new age of games and inflation and stuff. First of all, they said that is not the trend going forward. They said that this is special for this game. And it seems to mostly be because of the size of the game.
Yeah.
Like gig wise. Breath of the Wild, I think, was like 3 gigs to download. This is over 18.
Oh, wow.
And they literally have to use bigger sized cartridges, which cost more. So it's going to cost more, basically, I think, is the main reason for the price increase. But whatever, I'm still going to get it. So yeah. Are you excited? No? Okay. No, you're asleep. I know. It's okay. It's okay. I'm scratching my eyes. And that's it. That's all the news, basically.
Cool.
For the Nintendo Direct. Yeah. Do you care about any of that?
I'm mostly not, honestly. Mostly not. But yeah. The thing is I don't intend to buy any of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might buy Tears of the Kingdom because I did enjoy Breath of the Wild, but yeah. My backlog is still long enough that I don't intend to buy any new games anytime soon. So.
But have you started anything on your backlog? I don't
Not recently. No.
I don't think so.
No.
Well, lucky for you, your boy's over here playing Pokemon. So, ever heard of it?
Are you still playing Violet or
Violet? Not as much.
No.
I do absolutely love it still, but no, I'm here to talk about a game I recently bought. Pokemon Platinum.
Oh.
Drop the mic. I bought a legitimate copy of Pokemon Platinum because I had a lot of store credit.
Right.
I traded in a lot of games that were just sort of taking up space and that I could play other ways, and I don't need that many multiple copies of games. So I got a $150 copy of Pokemon Platinum.
Wow.
Which is sort of an investment a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I got it with a nice case that came with its manuals and stuff. So I can resell it for that much easily.
Yeah.
So it's sort of an investment in that way too. So, which is cool. But I also wanted to play it because I'm like, they say Platinum's the best.
Yeah.
Most people say Platinum is like the best Pokemon game in existence. And as you know, and as the audience knows, we are certified Sinnoh haters
Yes.
on this podcast. We make it very well known that Diamond and Pearl suck. And even Shining Diamond, Radiant Diamond, Shining Pearl, they suck too.
Yes.
So I was like, hopefully this won't suck. And I did go in very optimistically, not looking for things to hate, basically. Where am I? I think I just beat the 5th gym.
Okay.
So right now I'm right before the Iron Island thing.
Are you further than you were in White 2?
I'm like in the same spot actually, because I'm also playing White 2, which I'll talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. I have both on here, Platinum and some stuff, and I have White 2 and some stuff written here.
Yeah.
So I'm about the same distance actually, but way less hours put into it.
Yeah.
So I picked Piplup to start with, and I'm playing as Dawn because she's just a great design.
Yeah.
And what's kind of cool in Platinum is that they have like winter outfits on. Like it's apparently colder in Pokemon Platinum, which was kind of cool. I will say immediately I could tell it was better.
Okay.
In my opinion, I just felt like it wasn't as soulless as Diamond and Pearl are.
Interesting.
To me, Diamond and Pearl have this soullessness.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm interested to see.
So this, I feel like even just the colors are better. It's more colorful.
Yeah, the Diamond and Pearl were very drab.
They felt very drab. The Pokemon variety is much higher.
It is. Oh,
much
okay.
higher.
That's one of my single biggest
yes.
complaints about Diamond and Pearl.
Exactly. So, I mean, as far as like fire types in particular, there is not a ton more.
Right.
I think they added Houndour pretty early, which is kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's cool. Much better than a Ponyta, for sure.
Yeah. Well, and in Gen 4, it's actually pretty good because
the split.
The split and everything, yeah.
So you can actually use physical moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his special is absolutely horrific. So, yeah, that part was cool. I'll go through my team a little bit to describe it more. So I have a Piplup. I have a Leafeon, which is awesome. Absolutely love Leafeon. I have a Rotom.
Okay, yeah.
I love Rotom. I have a Chatot. I have a Gliscor.
Okay.
Which is Gligar's evolution.
Right.
And I have a Gallade.
Okay.
Is my current team. And
not picking Gardevoir. Interesting.
Not Gardevoir. That's right. I was like, I'm gonna not do Gardevoir this time, and I could use a fighting type. So, and Gallade is one of the few fighting types I like. So, so I went with him. But actually, so Gallade was not. I sort of planned this team out a little bit, kind of early on.
Yeah.
I don't like the sort of basic Sinnoh Pokemon.
Yeah.
In general, I don't like Staraptor very much. I don't like Bibarel. I don't like Floatzel. I don't like Luxray very much. Like all these sort of main Sinnoh Pokemon, I don't really care for. So I was like, I need to just go. I'm just gonna go with Pokemon I like. Period. You know. So Leafeon up there with Vaporeon as my favorite evolution.
Yeah.
And what I love about this game, I don't know if Diamond and Pearl did this or if they fixed it in Platinum or whatever, but you can get Leafeon pretty early. I feel like normally the Moss Rock and the Icy Rock are at like the very end of the game always, every time, which I absolutely hate. And so this you can get, I think, second, third gym around there. So that was awesome. And then Rotom, I could also get pretty dang early, like around the same time as Leafeon. You just go to this old, like, shabby house, and this actually was changed in Platinum. You could not do this early. I think you had to do it post-game in Diamond and Pearl, which is so stupid. It's like, what's the point? I don't even get to use Rotom. And so you, like, interact with this TV in this haunted house, and Rotom pops out. And I was very excited to use him because in Platinum, they added the Rotom room, which is like this offshoot where a room with all the 5 appliances in it where you can change his form and stuff.
Nice.
I was like, heck yeah. And I was almost to the part where the Rotom room was. And I go there and I can't find the Rotom room. I'm like, where's the Rotom room? And so I look it up and I'm like, oh, you need a special key. Okay, I got to find where the special key is. Brian, do you know how you get the special key? You want to know how you get the special key? First, you have to be in Japan. Second, it has to be 2004. Third, you have to be at like this certain store. And get this code or this card or something to unlock the secret key so that you can get into the Rotom room.
Yeah.
I don't have any of I don't have any of those things. I'm not in Japan and I don't have a time machine. So that's unfortunate.
Yes.
Which so strike one for platinum. I'm like, oh, you messed up.
There's in
hate
both
that so much.
In Gen 4 and 5, there's a few like IRL event things that that don't
like,
aren't around anymore.
Normally that's for just like legendaries and like mythical Pokemon. That's fine. I can't get a Darkrai, whatever. I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
But like to actually use the reason Rotom is so cool, you've just hit it. You've made it completely inaccessible. It's so insane.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they've fixed that in later games.
Right.
That is just so stupid. So I looked up online. I'm like, is there any way to make this happen?
Yeah.
And there is. If it's before 2016. Because the Nintendo DS, it even worked on the 3DS, which I was using, has the Nintendo Wi-Fi network.
Yeah.
Which you do everything through. That shut down in 2016 completely.
Yeah.
So you literally cannot even play games over Wi-Fi with people on DS. It's just impossible. The servers don't exist anymore. Which really sucks because there was a way to spoof like the DPS. Is that it? I think that's a thing, right?
Okay.
Or DOS. I don't know. Some sort of IP thing. If you put this certain IP address in or something, you can just get the mystery gift.
Oh, okay.
Which worked. Apparently was super easy when the Wi-Fi existed. Yeah. So I was very close. I was almost there.
Yeah, you were only off by 7 years.
Yep.
No big deal.
Yep. So I only have a regular Rotom. Luckily, regular Rotom is not terrible. Yeah. And Ghost Electric is not a bad typing at all, especially because he has Levitate. And so he's immune to ground. Decent moveset. Okay special attack. Not as good as his other forms, but I like Rotom enough. I still wanted him on my main team. Chatot's cool. He's one of my favorite bird Pokemon. I just think he's cool. Little musical note head, you know?
Yeah.
And actually really decent special attack. I think it's got over 100 base
oh, wow. Yeah, that
special
is
attack, which is good. He's a non-evolving Pokemon, so he's just a single thing. And he has a signature move that's really cool, actually. So
I like all the posts in various Pokemon groups that show like some cool legendary and then compare it to some really wimpy little Pokemon, and then they compare the stats. This one's got higher attack.
For real. Yeah. It's so funny.
Freaking Krabby's attack stat.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. So funny. And how like Kyurem White can't learn Ice Punch, but Wooper can.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that is so awesome. Yeah, his signature move Chatter. It's a special flying type move, and you actually you record it onto your DS. It like has you record your voice.
Okay.
And you like scream into your DS. and then that becomes its cry, like it mimics you.
Wow.
Which is cute and so Nintendo DS era. For it to do something like that is just so Nintendo of like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But what's cool is I looked up the info on it, and the louder your voice is, the higher the chance that Chatter will confuse the opponent.
Interesting.
So I made it as loud as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And if you do that, I think it's like 40% chance to confuse or something.
Huh.
And I've been getting confused pretty often, so I think it worked.
Nice.
Yeah. So fun little weird thing. So yeah, that's that. And then I have the Gliscor, I have always thought he's really cool, but I've just never used it. So I decided I could use a ground type. So.
I don't think I've ever used a Gligar.
Yeah, he's got Gliscor especially, which was just added in Gen 4. Has a really good physical attack. Learns a bunch of different varieties of moves too. Learns Night Slash, X Scissor, Poison Jab, tons of different good spread basically.
Yeah.
So he's been really cool. And even though he's flying type, he can learn Dig, which is good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the flying ground thing was always interesting.
Very interesting. It is cool to be immune to ground as a ground type.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of cool. And a flying type that's immune to electric because he's part ground. So not a terrible type combo.
Uh-huh.
I think it is 4 times weak to ice because I think ground's weak to ice. But it's not terrible.
Yeah.
And so my other complaint, I had the Rotom complaint. I have one more big complaint with Platinum. And that's the reason I have a Gallade. Because I was like, I'm going to get a Glaceon. I never get to really use a Glaceon.
Yeah.
And I love both Leafeon and Glaceon. So I'm going to just get another Eevee. Not a big deal, right? It should be easy to get a second Eevee. So the Eevee I got for Leafeon was a gift Pokemon in Hearthstone City or whatever.
Yeah.
Which it usually is in early games. But I know I looked it up, and there's a place where you can get wild Eevees. It's like the Trophy Garden, I believe it's called, which is in the back of this mansion. And from what I could read, which actually I have a beef with Cerebi about this.
Oh, okay,
Normally Cerebi's the best. They have all the info you could ever want. But they failed to mention a major detail with this place. And that it has a certain set of Pokemon, but then if you talk to the guy who owns it, every day there will be a new random from this pool, different Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it can be an Eevee. So, but you can just like restart the game and just cycle through all those. I'm like, awesome. I can get an Eevee, no problem. Except that only happens after you get the national dex after you beat the game. All right, hell yeah. Again, old Pokemon frustrations is everything cool is in the post game, and you can't do anything fun before the Elite Four. Yep. You get 3 Pokemon to choose from and just beat the Elite Four, and then you can have fun. Yep. Is what it feels like a lot of the time. And I could breed the Eevee. I was open to that. But the Eevee I got was male, so if I bred it, it would not be an Eevee unless I bred it with a Ditto. You know how you get Ditto? In the Trophy Garden after the post game, the same place where you get Eevees. So completely screwed. It is literally impossible for me to get an Eevee before the post game. A second Eevee, I should say.
Yeah.
So no Glaceon for me. So Gallade.
Yeah.
It was that was actually really cool. Super smooth. I went to Route 212, which I had just opened up. And there's wild Kirlia there, which were a decent level, was like 25. And there was also a Dawnstone, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Shiny Stone is the other one, but it's Dawnstone in that same area with the dowsing machine.
Yeah.
So I was able to catch a Kirlia, immediately evolve it into Gallade, no problem. And Gallade learns a huge spread of moves in this game.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous. Like, he could have had Leaf Blade and X Scissor and Night Slash and Psycho Cut and, like, all these super good physical moves. So, yeah, he's been fantastic. I think right now I have Psycho Cut, which is, psychic, whatever.
Yeah.
I have Drain Punch, which is fantastic. And then I forgot if I gave him Night Slash. No, I think Night Slash is on my Gliscor. He has Ice Punch. Which has been fantastic. So nice to have an ice. Ice is so good offensively. Like, it's ridiculous. So, that's been really good. The move tutors, I will say, are really good in Platinum. You can get some really good moves from move tutors. Yeah. And I love that they did this. I think Gen 4 was one of the first times they did this, where when you remind Pokemon moves, there's certain moves you can only get that way.
Yeah.
that they like started with or whatever.
Oh yeah, those level 1 moves.
The level 1 moves that are
Yeah.
sometimes insanely good. And Gallades are like that. There's like a huge list of super good moves that you can remind him. So
that was one of the weird things when I was when we were doing a Pokemon game in RPG Maker and importing the movesets.
Yeah.
And I was going through the movesets and going, wow, why are
what is
there
this?
all these level 1 moves
yeah.
that they would never know in the wild?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's literally the only way to learn them is from the move reminder. It's an interesting way to teach them moves, I guess. I don't know. I mean, heart scales are really easy to come by in Platinum, which is nice because you can go to the underground and dig them up. They're super common in the underground, so that's been really nice. So besides
And
those,
all the people in the underground.
so besides the Rotom and Eevee thing, it is decent.
Yeah.
I will say it's the most fun I've had in a Gen 4 game.
Okay. Yeah.
So as far as Gen 4 goes, I do like it the best. We'll see as I go on if I agree with that. The last thing I did was I tried to use the Versus Seeker, which is a key item that lets you refight trainers. I'm like, awesome.
Right.
I gotta grind a little bit. I'm a little underleveled in a couple of them, so I'm gonna do that. And the Versus Seeker sucks really bad. It is so stupid. So you have to be in a route where there's trainers.
Right.
You have to use the Seeker, which beeps.
Yep.
And if you happen to be near a trainer who you can refight, there'll be like a little exclamation point above their head. And then you'll be like, oh, it found a trainer. Great. You can go and fight them if you even saw that. But sometimes it'll go off and you don't see what trainer had the exclamation point because it doesn't stay there, which it should just stay there. But whatever. And you can't refight them without this, by the way. You can't just talk to them and a battle happens. You have to use this thing. And even if you didn't fight the trainer, it now has to recharge the Versus Seeker, which you have to do 100 steps to make that happen.
Yep.
And then if you fight that trainer, you can't use the Versus Seeker again in that route.
Yeah.
Until like, I don't know when.
I remember all this because I was looking into EV training and I was like, oh, I can use the Versus Seeker. And then I was like, well, this is stupid. And I never used it
After
again.
trying for a while and fighting maybe 2 trainers, I was like, I desperately need modern Pokemon is what I felt like. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I can't
live like this.
I can't live like this, Platinum, please. And so I put it down for a second, and I put White 2 back in. Yeah, because I'm like, I got to get back on this. I actually was thinking, I was like, is White 2 modern enough? Yeah. Was my question, and it's pretty decent. I've been having a pretty good time with it. So I want to go over my team with that.
Okay,
real quick here. I basically I was at a part I had to grind a little bit. I was right before Clay, the 5th gym leader, one of the 2. The ground type guy with the Excadrill. Looks like a cowboy.
Right.
Clay? I don't know. His name's something like that. Yeah. And so I was sort of grinding in that area. I was just like a little underleveled because I always have a team of 6 that I'm always trying to evenly train. So I'm always a little underleveled, I feel like, in older games. And so, I was doing that, focusing on my 6 guys. And it went really well, actually. So I have a Servine, because I got Snivy to start with. I have a Stoutland now. He was a Herdier. He's now evolved.
Right.
I have an Unpheasant, my very favorite bird Pokemon. I have Magnezone now, who's super cool. I had a Growlithe. Now I have an Arcanine.
Right.
And I have an Azumarill, which thanks to Scarlet and Violet, I love Azumarill now. Yeah. And this Azumarill does have huge power. So
nice.
By far the highest attack stat, higher than my Arcanine, which is awesome because it has Aqua Tail and Ice Punch and Strength, I think. Anyway, it's unstoppable.
You're gonna teach it belly drum.
If I can, absolutely. If I can make that happen, my gosh, yeah, unstoppable. So I was doing that thing where I was running back and forth waiting for shaking grass, because there's adinos
Right.
in the shaking grass, which give ton of XP.
Yeah.
So
It's like this gen's Chansey.
exactly,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So through that and trainers in the area, I got everyone to like 32 ish. And at like 32 to 34, stuff's happening. Like, that's when Herdier evolved into Stoutland, and I got an Ud Pheasant. Serving learned Leaf Blade, which is so good.
Yeah, there
Like-
was a point where like half my team
Yeah.
all evolved at once.
Everything's
basically.
everything's coming up now.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome. I got Magneton, and then I just went to the Charge Cave, which is just north of that route.
Yeah.
And evolved it into Magnezone. So he's about to learn Flash Cannon, and then he'll learn Discharge pretty soon too.
Nice.
And he's just broken. His special attack is so high.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. The last one was Growlithe, because I was looking up Arcanine, and Arcanine learns no moves. And so I got to be careful when I use the Firestone, because I got to give good moves, you know? And when I was looking on Cerebi, it said at 39 it learned Flamethrower. But I was excited to learn that in White 2, in Black and White, that was true. Black and White 2, he learns it at 34,
Nice.
which just goes to show how much better Black and White 2 are.
No.
So I got Flamethrower at 34, evolved him into Arcanine, and at 34, when I evolved him, he learned Extreme Speed too. So also ridiculously good for him. So my team has just felt awesome all of a sudden, which is really fun. That's like one of my favorite parts in a Pokemon game, is like bringing the best out of your Pokemon, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Getting them to higher states. And yeah, I was just like, man, Modern, even the next gen, the Modern is so much better. Like the little quality of life stuff, and just, I don't know, much more enjoy the repel thing.
Yeah.
Just hitting yes on use another repel. Like, man, Gen 5 fixed a lot of stuff. Like, yeah, you can register stuff to your Y button.
Yeah.
But like when you hit Y, there's just a list of all the stuff you've registered, and you can just quickly hit something, hit your bicycle or whatever. You don't have to do one at a time.
Yeah.
The dowsing machine for finding hidden items is so much easier.
Yeah.
In Gen 4 and Platinum, you have to literally tap the dowsing machine.
Yeah.
And it like sends out a sonar thing
Yeah.
to see hidden items, which is just like, it's a pain. You gotta like tap it and stuff. In White 2, it's like just like arrows that just point you to the
nice.
thing, and it's just there, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I love this. So yeah, I fought Clay. I think that's his name. And between Serving with Leaf Blade and Azumarill with Aqua Tail, like, he was nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing to my new team. So yeah, that was fun. So I'm gonna keep playing White 2 a little bit more now, just because I'm in the zone sort of with it. But I'll definitely get back to Platinum.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun, pretty nice. I am really I need to finish these so that I can play Pokemon X, because I really want to play X again, because I love X and Y.
Yeah.
And it's been a little while, and I never finished that other playthrough I did of it.
It's
so.
weird how unpopular they are.
I know. People really hate them, man.
Yeah.
People hate on Sun and Moon too. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I feel like Gen 4 love has to be a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
I feel like it just has to be.
Yeah.
It's like our love for Gen 1. I mean,
Right.
obviously Gen 1 is horribly flawed, but we'll always love it forever because it's, I don't know.
I don't know what you mean. It's perfect.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess one other little Pokemon rumor, the DLC, that's going to come out eventually. I do have high hopes for it in general, but they did leak that Pokemon has made sprites for Scarlet and Violet of every single Pokemon in existence, including other forms, like every Mega Evolution and every like just other version of Pokemon now has a little battle sprite of some sort in the Scarlet Violet style in the game's code. So that's just interesting. Like, I wonder if they'll allow everything basically at some point. I mean, that's very wishful thinking, I think, to think that of it. But I mean, I hope they add some new Pokemon, I guess, in the new one. But yeah, we will see. Hopefully, Pokemon Day, we get an announcement of the DLC and a little sneak peek at it.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. Is that it for me?
Guess that's it for you.
Is that all I have to say?
Unless
I don't know. Is it? I could say so much. I can say chicken wings. I could say splendiferous.
Okay.
What are some words you could say, Ryan? You're so tired.
Yeah, I am really tired.
You got real sleepy. Good thing I had a lot to talk about this time.
Yeah. So I had some ideas where this episode could go, but we're already
we're 50 minutes in
down,
already.
So I'll just say lately been watching more shows like
Nerd.
because Ruby Volume 9 is coming out this month. We rewatched Volume 8.
Yeah.
Which I really like Ruby. So
Nice.
that was enjoyable.
Good.
And Volume 8 is very interesting. Lots of interesting things happen in it.
Sweet. I'll watch that at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. It's good.
I like
got caught up on The Bad Batch.
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars The Bad Batch. It's fun.
It's okay.
I enjoy it. No, it's... So first of all, the animation is pretty good.
That's nice.
It's
nice.
It's the best animation of any Star Wars animated series, I would say.
Nice.
Which makes sense because it's the most recent, but also
Sure.
yeah.
But not always the case. Yeah.
Yeah. You could. They didn't really cut corners. Like it's good. And so a few episodes are just kind of case of the week kind of things, because they're doing odd jobs as they're trying to hide out from the Empire.
Gotcha.
And when there's too many of those in a row, it gets kind of like,
yeah.
But then as soon as they do anything with actual story and plot, like, oh, okay, let's go.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally get that. Yeah, they really have to break it up with more, you know? Yeah.
And that's about it for shows.
Really exciting.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of shows, and I guess this is maybe going to be next episode, but I'd like to do an episode where we go over TV shows that we've watched.
Yeah.
That are not anime.
Yeah.
And I might
more real stuff.
I would even divide it between live action,
mostly
and
live action,
cartoons.
or
so like doing maybe
separately.
even doing two separate ones, because I've been working on a list.
Have you made a list? Oh no.
So I have a list that where I have tried to write every movie I've ever watched.
Yeah.
That's like it's
a
about
lot.
500 long. Which I don't think is probably actually all that much. I think most movie buffs have seen a lot more than that.
I think that's actually not that many.
But it seems like a lot to me. I have been working on that for TV shows as well, and I have it split up into live action and animated.
Okay.
I have about 106 live action. In the live action, I did make this a little weird because I'm including stop motion animation in the live action.
Okay. I mean, it's sort of both, so.
Because, I mean, it's physical objects being moved around. And so, that just lets me separate it from cartoons. I've seen so many more animated shows than I have non-animated shows. So.
Well, stop motion is with a camera, like a live action.
Yeah, exactly.
So, sure.
Yeah, it's not drawn.
Yeah,
and
it's not drawn.
cell shaded, and it's not computer generated. It's
right. Yeah, that's true.
And I tried to go in somewhat chronological order too. So starting with
kid shows. Are you gonna go through it right now? You should not go through it right now.
No, it's too long to go through right now.
Yeah, no. That's definitely a next episode
But
thing.
yeah, like.
But here's a sneak peek.
Yeah, sneak peek is so. The oldest shows I remember watching are like Shining Time Station.
Yeah,
Which
Thomas
showed
baby.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Bum, 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 bum,
Yeah, and that was like
bum,
1993, 94, somewhere around there. Yeah.
I'm just gonna talk about Blue's Clues the whole time.
Yeah.
So get ready. Because that was my life.
Yeah. That was yours, and mine was.
I still adore it a little bit.
Shining Time Station and Power Rangers.
Yes, you were a Power Rangers guy as well.
Absolutely.
Again, just a taste.
Yeah.
Get excited.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. Looking forward to it. I'll have to make a list maybe too.
Yeah. I've started watching a bunch of VTuber clips again. Gouda's back.
What a nerd.
She took a bit long break.
Where was Gouda?
Taking a break.
In the water, being a shark.
Yeah.
Does she live in the water?
No.
No?
Not currently.
Oh.
She's from Atlantis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So are you going to get the HoloLive Weiss Schwartz stuff at all?
I'll look at it.
Curious at all about that?
Yeah. Yeah, so apparently like a bunch of the HoloLive English crew went to Japan and they're all there together like in a house.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's been interesting though listening to their stories about being in Japan because I was just recently there and like listening to other people's experiences.
Oh, I was there too.
Like, yeah, I did that.
I did that.
They're just like me, for
I
real.
did that. Yeah, I'm just like them. I'm a VTuber now.
I think it would be really. I think it'd be fun to do VTuber. Be a VTuber.
Of course,
I think that'd be a fun thing to do.
100%.
Yeah.
You can be fun without them looking at you.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't look at me.
Don't look at me. I don't exist. I'm an anime person.
Yeah. Whereas we are just disembodied voices.
Yep, and you can't tell, and you're screaming because you can't tell where the voices are coming from.
Yeah.
Who's who? I don't even know. They sound the same. I'm Brian.
No, we sound more different than Michael and Eric do.
Yeah, apparently. They sound nothing alike to me. It blows my mind that people think that.
It was weird, though. Like, when I first listened, I couldn't tell a difference. It took a while.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's true of a lot of people because they made jokes about it.
Nope.
Anyway, right at the end here, I will say I have a lot of credit still at Retro. I have been calling every day or every other day. Literally.
For a dark blue,
For a dark blue. It's just called blue technically, but I specify dark blue. Switch Lite. Because I think it'd be really cool to have a Switch Lite.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I watched a bunch of videos on owning two Switches.
Yeah.
And like what you can do or what you should do. And apparently they've really thought this through actually at Nintendo. And they know that people will have multiple Switches, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And so when you first boot it up, you can add your profile in your Nintendo account. And it's like, is this already on another Switch? Yes or no? Do you want to move everything to this Switch? Or are you going to keep both Switches and use the same profile? It's like, okay, hit that. Okay, cool. You just have the same profile on two Switches. And now you can just download all the games you've bought on your other Switch onto this Switch. You can download them all.
Nice.
Use the same online account, so I don't have to get another online subscription.
Right.
If I want to play the N64 games or whatever. The only really drawback is that you can't play a game on both of them at the same time. So like one profile can only play one game on one Switch at a time.
Interesting. Okay.
Which makes sense. A profile shouldn't be able to play two games at the same time. But a different profile on the other Switch can play a game no problem. So yeah, that's gonna be cool. So I'm calling and asking. They have 3 right now. They have 3 Switch Lites, and none of them are the right color. So
I
will not settle.
The idea of having a Switch Lite and having a ton of
Download it only.
Game Boy games and stuff on there is appealing.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm probably not going to do it because I don't think I'd actually use it enough to justify it.
No, I get that. Yeah, that is what I'm going to do, by the way. Mostly have it for downloaded games, as opposed to cartridge stuff. I just sort of separate the two switches that way. So I'll definitely want to get a bigger SD card for it, probably. So I'm waiting to get the Persona games, sort of, until I can get that, because I kind of want to play them on my Switch Lite. So,
I might have already said this in the last episode. You can buy a PS5 for retail price now.
Yep. Most places. I've seen them in person, just sitting there. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And of course...
It took so long.
Well, and at this point, it's just like...
so long.
Do I care?
I don't care. I don't care at all. Maybe eventually.
I mostly just wanted it to play the new FF7 Remake Intergrade.
Yeah. The Yuffie stuff is on there.
Yeah.
It's funny. I've had FF7 Remake forever now. I just have not touched it.
Oh, wow. Yep. Have you played it at all?
Not even a little bit.
Wow.
It's so weird. I like FF7.
Yeah.
I have a PS4. I got to make my game room more livable still, I think. Because I don't play my PS4 at all. Partly probably because it's up there. Yeah. I don't know. I am working on it. I got that table up there. So.
Yeah. You got to get... Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
I stole your table. And it's mine now.
Yes. Right.
I stole your Mahjong table. Now it's my game table.
And you gave up on making a game table?
I did. I made this into a game table. I did, though, actually. I without your permission, I painted it.
Oh.
And it's now fully done. It's all black now.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Including the metal poles, the drawers, everything is black.
Is the mesh in the middle still green?
Still green.
Okay.
And I found a website that does game mats for table coverings. And so I'm getting like a play mat that covers the whole green part.
Okay.
It's about like the same size as the green part. And so I'm going to like carpet tape that play mat to it. Okay. So that you have the play mat to play board games on or whatever. But then you could always remove the play mat to play if you wanted that texture for Mahjong or something.
Okay.
So I'm just making it a game table that way, basically. So.
Well, cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty nice, actually. Yeah.
Is the TV in the game room big enough for you?
Yeah, I think it's okay, actually.
Do you ever go like, I really just want to play on the living room TV because it's bigger?
Actually, the reason I don't play in the game room is seating, and the light fixtures in the game room are terrible. Yeah. I still have the like ceiling fan with horrible lights in it that are just like glaring and uncomfortable. So that's actually mostly why I think it's just not comfortable enough.
No.
So I just need to keep working on it, sort of.
Yeah. Need some bean bags.
Need some bean bags. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yep. I'll figure it out. Make it happen. I'm on a roll now with I got the bed out of there.
Yeah.
Cleaned up a little bit. Got the new game table in there, basically. Yeah. So it's working. It's a work in progress.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, that was it. That's the podcast, I guess.
That's the podcast.
Let us know in the comments if my Pokemon team is stupid and I'm stupid for not liking Platinum more. And that's about it. Let us know. But also like and review us on Spotify, please, and download the podcast. That helps a lot. Means a lot. Makes us have better metrics. And did you know we have a Twitter account? Mm-hmm. You can go to twitter.com if you've heard of it. Thanks, Elon. And you can go to @TheBrothersGPod, which stands for Game Pod, by the way.
Yeah.
And pod stands for podcast. Mm-hmm. So you can go to the Brothers G Pod on twitter.com and follow us.
Yes. You can also, on Reddit, go to our subreddit, r/Brothers Game Podcast, where I post links to every episode.
Yeah, comment on the Reddit posts. Be like, this episode ruled, upvote. Or you can be like, this episode sucked, upvote still, because I'm nice.
Yes.
That's it. That's it.
That's the podcast. Bye.
My final words, go play Katamari.